Hi, welcome to educator.com for another lesson in Adobe Illustrator CS6. Today is part 2 of effects. So let's get right into it, not waste any time. Previously, I covered gradients and gradient mesh. Today I'm going to cover blends. So I don't want to drag. I'm going to select two objects. Now in this case, they're both the same shape. So I go to Object, Blend, and Make. Simple enough. Now let's see where you have the same shape and the same color, what happens. Object, Blend, and Make. So I get the colors gradated, very nicely. But let's say, I want just the colors to blend and not the shape. So let me show you the way to do that. So first you have to go to Blend Options and change it. So right now I have specified steps and I have 4 hearts in between. So let's go to Smooth Color and see what happens when we make a blend now. There. So now you see you got a smooth transitional color, between your two shapes. Now let's see what happens when you have two different shapes and two different colors. Okay, so you can see it creates all what you needed to go between the two shapes. So now let me just go back and show you, change options again. So you can also do specified distance. I'm not going to get into that. I can do it later. And now I have four shapes, steps. So I have 4 initially up top. So I'm going to change this to 6. And now OK. All right, so now you see how that changes to the shapes. Now, let me show you how to change things so they're on a curve. Okay, so I have this on the curve here. Now, well, it's not on the curve yet, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to curve. So let me show you how to do that. All right, so I'm going to go to Outline Mode, Command Y, and I'm going to choose my direct selection tool and choose one of the endpoints. So once that's selected, I'm going to go to my convert point tool and move this around so you can see I can edit that how I want. Alright, so now I'm going to go back to my preview. So you can see that this is curving along the axis or the path that I newly created. Okay, but you say, hey, Howard, that's not what I want. I want it, be a little bit more sophisticated curve. Okay, hold your horses, hold your horses. I'm gonna get to that. I'll show you. Look. Here's what you do. So you keep that selected, and you see I have a path here that's already there. You probably wonder why that was there. You should have known I had a reason. So now I'm gonna select that path and original blend. They're both selected. Very important. Then you go to Object, Blend, and now instead of going to Make or Release or Blend options, you see here it says Replace Spine. So now this new path is going to be replaced. And there. Now it's along that path that I created. So that's how you can get a specific path to follow. Okay, that is blends. Alright, so now let's go to transparency. Alright, let me just check that off here. Blends is done, and now transparency. Now we've seen transparency before using the appearance tool. So now I'm going to show you another way to get some transparency going. And let me create another object here. Okay. So now what what I can do is I can go to the transparency, and I can select transparency here, 50%, so make that transparent, which is pretty standard. Also, I can change the blending modes, can lighten it, do it as an overlay, so you see how it's changing between the two colors, or change the hue, or do difference. Alright, now there's something else we can do while we're in transparency. We can make a mask. So I need to select two objects for that. So you can see this polygon is on top, and I'll choose Make Mask. And this is a little hard to see, so let me lighten it. Okay, so you see there's a mask where the rectangle was, so it's inside that mask there. Okay, so that's transparency, so just a little extra for transparency that you can use. Alright, now let's go to our pattern fills. Let's check this off. Okay, now so now what I want to do here is create a new pattern. Now again, this is something we've seen before. We've seen patterns before. But now I'm going to create a pattern. So I have these two objects selected. I'm going to blend them, these two paths. Okay, those are in steps. And that's not what I want. I want some smooth color there. So let me change this back to smooth color. And now make. Okay, so now I got a nice little gradation here. Now if I want to make a pattern out of it, I'm going to select that. Go to my swatches. And swatches selected. Don't want to be knowing all my business. Okay, objects, pattern, make. Okay, so a dialog box comes up. Now this says the pattern has been added. So as soon as I do it, it's already added. You can see it here. But I want to do something a little bit different with that. So now, once I click OK on that, I get this up. So right now this pattern is in the grid. Let me name it Wave. And you can see I could change that to brick by row, brick by column, hex by column, and hex by row. So let me go back to grid. Now, what I want to do is change the spacing between these. So anything you want to do, you can do with the pattern tile tool. So I change that. So it isolates my original art. And I can pull this up, and now I have space between the pattern that I want. Okay, so let's say I'm happy with that. And also let me show you another thing while I'm here. Oh, I have to have the pattern tool selected. I lose that. Okay, so I won't show you that. That's not quite working out. So let me stay on script. This is why I always get into trouble. Okay, stay on script. So close that. Okay, so now here you see the new pattern. Before you only saw one thing. Now let me show you how that pattern has been applied. Make sure I have a layer, the correct layer, and fill that with my new pattern. Okay. So now you see my pattern is here. Scale it. And so that's how you save a pattern. Okay. Okay, we've done pattern fills. And again, there's a lot more to do. I'm just touching on the basic here. I have to resist the temptation to show you more. But really, this is an introduction to all the tools. When we get to intermediate and advanced, I can show you more things. So I have to keep myself under control here. All right, so now I've shown you the pattern fills. Okay, so now let's look at the Pathfinder tool. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is go to my Pathfinder window, and that's not currently open. So when a window's not open, I want to go to Window and then find the exact window I want. So I want Pathfinder, so I'm going to bring that up. Okay, so now just putting that back where it needs to be. Under shape modes, those all create compound shapes, and it tells you, little call-outs tell you exactly what it's doing. But I want to show you the difference between what it's doing. And also there's a little trick that I put in here, because sometimes when you combine effects on top of effects, you get unexpected results. So I'm just going to show you those unexpected results. And Pathfinders create different composite shapes. So it's not a compound path. They're each in distinct shapes. They don't overlap anymore. So under Unite, click Unite, and I get one shape. Now you see the yellow bounding box, and you see the yellow